In an earlier video, I began a conversation about hiring financial advisors and the benefits and misconceptions about certified financial planner practitioners. If you haven't seen that video, I highly recommend that you watch it once you've reviewed this video. Today, we're going to talk about investment licenses, insurance licenses, investment advisor registration, and we're going to contrast all of that with certification programs. Let's start with licensing and registration. That's because the kind of advice you get from your advisor is almost always contingent on the license or registration that they have. For you, that means if you're talking to a person that doesn't have the license to sell you the investment that you really need, they can't present those ideas to you. And you may never know about those ideas, and that could mean that you could suffer financially as a result. So this is a very big deal.
Please hold for a very important message. Please hold for a very important message.
Let me show you a chart that we're going to refer to quite often. Here you can see the various licenses and registrations available to financial professionals and what each license or registration permits that person to do. You can see, for example, that a person with a life insurance license can sell life insurance products for commission, and that's it. A person with a securities license can sell securities like stocks or bonds or mutual funds for commissions, and that's it. A person who's a registered investment advisor can charge a commission, but they can charge a fee, like 1% annually, for example, just to manage your money. Now, if a person wants to sell both life insurance and securities for commission, they've got to have both life insurance license and a securities license. Many advisors do that. If that person wants to charge commissions and fees, they need those licenses, and they also need to register as an investment advisor. And many advisors do that as well. Now, these licenses and registrations are issued by governments or government-empowered agencies. The licenses are legal requirements, and they have legal obligations attached to them. But keep in mind that these licenses and registrations determine what the advisor can sell and how the advisor gets paid. It doesn't matter if they have a CFP or CLU after their names. Those are just certifications, and we're going to discuss that very shortly. It's the investment and/or insurance license or registration that matters in determining what investment ideas they'll present to you. Please make sure you understand that. It's got to be rock solid. Now, at the end of the series, I'm going to tell you how to find the right advisor to match your needs, so don't worry about it. Make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss that video. For now, just understand that this issue of licensing and registration is super important. I want to shift over and talk about certifications now. There are hundreds of certification programs. They are awarded by private organizations after individuals complete a series of requirements like education. They take some exams that could be hard, and they usually have to agree to a set of rules, and they may have to continue with continuing education. Here's the key. Any investment advisor or insurance agent can usually get any credential they want. That won't change a thing about what they can or can't present to you or sell to you. It may, however, change the way they present things to you. Here's what I mean. Some credential programs require their certificates to uphold a fiduciary standard. That means they are required to put your interest above theirs. If the certificate fails to do that, they could be held liable in a court of law and be subject to losing their credential. Which credentials carry fiduciary responsibility? It really depends on who you ask. There are many different credential programs and various opinions on this. And we're not going to go deep into the weeds on this right now. Here's a list of the more popular investment credential programs. The CFP and the CFF credentials do require their certificates to uphold the fiduciary standard. The other programs may or may not. Regardless, working with a fiduciary is important in my opinion, so make sure to ask the right questions. If your advisor that you're working with says they are a fiduciary, ask them what it means, and do they have a legal obligation, and can that be enforced in a court of law? And where is that spelled out? In other words, ask a lot of good questions. Now, I want to bring one thing to your attention that's very important. I've met plenty of financial professionals who didn't have a fiduciary responsibility, who were plenty smart, responsible, professional, and trustworthy. I'd have no problem doing business with any of them. And I'm sorry to say that I've also met fiduciary professionals who had fiduciary responsibility, but they weren't really up to the standard. So what I'm saying is, yes, it's nice to have a professional who has that responsibility of fiduciary standards, but you have to also trust your gut a little bit. Having a fiduciary is important, but it's not the only way to judge who and who you won't do business with. Let's get back to the topic. Now, many advisors have multiple licenses and registrations and certifications. Think of it this way: the license or registration spells out what the advisor can and can't do, and the certification might spell out how they can do it, how much disclosure they need to make. Do they have to put your interest above theirs? So that's it. The certification program will have no bearing on what investments they can present to you. Now, dealing with advisors with multiple licenses and certifications can be confusing, but I'm going to take all the mystery out of it at the end of the series and give you the tools that you need to have to make sure that you're working with the right advisor. So please subscribe so that you can get that next video and the series of the videos, so that you'll make sure that you hire, if you need one, the right advisor.